Hey, it's February 22nd, about an hour and 20 minutes after the market has closed, and we had quite an exciting day. NVIDIA killed it on earnings and just dragged the entire market up with it. And we did not end up needing our hedge at all, and we did erode quite a significant percentage of the value of that hedge. But of course, we sized it appropriately, so this loss, $143, is not going to make a big deal for us. On top of that, our other positions made a nice, well, right now it says $313 for us. So that would imply that roughly a 2-to-1, a little over 2-to-1 movement, and it far outstripped the loss on the hedge, which is exactly what is supposed to happen on a hedge. However, something really interesting happened during the post-market analysis video. We watched right in front of our eyes this P&L move from over $400 down to $300. And the reason that that moved is because right while we were recording, the market maker for XLV changed or widened this spread on all the options. And in particular, the one we care about is the one that we have a position in. So you can see that's super wide, $1.14 versus $4 on the bid and ask. So they're almost $3 in between on an option that was presumably right around $3.50 probably when we went to close it, or $3.70 when before the market maker widened everything out. And during the day, it's been tight, between 10 and 20 cents was the bid-ask spread, and now all of a sudden it's almost $3. So obviously we're not going to take the mark that the market maker gave us on this one. We really should have had a $400 P&L printed right here, and then our market value will be much higher. But we'll make it up when we close the position, so it's not that big of a deal. I'm not going to make a big deal out of it, so I'm not going to. I said we wouldn't take the mark, but I'll take the mark or whatever. It's not a big deal. This should say more like 3.7, not 2.57. So we are going to plan to close every single thing that we have open right now, because all of our longs have hit their targets. And then our short that was against the XLV, that's, it didn't perform, but it was there just as a hedge for XLV as well. So since we're closing XLV, we're going to close XLU. So let's do all of that first. We're going to close all the open positions. So let's go ahead and close our hedge. We'll do it right at, it says 29 cents. Tomorrow might be worth a little bit less. Let's see, 0. I don't know what the theta was on that. I guess I could look it up fairly easily. Theta was about 5 cents, so we could expect about 24. So if I say 0 by tomorrow, what is the theoretical value? About 24 cents, 24, 25 cents. Let's see if we can close this at 25 cents. Okay. Excellent. Now we'll go to our XLU. We'll just close it at that 40-cent mark. That is perfectly fine. XLV, we're going to close at what the mark was before the market maker moved it like crazy, so we're going to do this at 3.7. DLR was interesting because it was doing really, really well. And you can see it traded up well above its EMA 20, but it pulled back to below its EMA 8. Tomorrow, I think we could probably come close to hitting that EMA 8, so we're going to set a target exit. So if this one doesn't execute, we're not going to make a big deal out of it. We'll just hang on to it over the weekend. That's okay. So DLR, we want to exit that at a target price. It's marked at $5. We're going to try to close it at $5.25. And lastly, APD finally had some movement for us. It was not doing much all day long. And finally, towards the end, we got movement upwards, and we are approaching that EMA 20. We might hit it tomorrow, but I don't want to risk it. Let's just get out of APD because it's really just kind of been moving sideways. So let's just close at wherever the mark is. And that'll be $5.50. Okay, so we've got all of our closing entries in our portfolio. We've got about $700 in buying power. Ooh, okay, so I was going to put on some pairs. I didn't realize we had so little buying power available to us, so I've now got to decide which one or ones I want to go into. I think the one that I prefer the most is Zscaler. Let me see if it's liquid enough. Okay, the average hold on this particular trade is long, 24. Why is it so long? I don't think it'll take that long. But we'll just say it takes 1 to 2 weeks. That's a little longer than, let's just say it takes a week. I'll have a mental time stop on this one for about a week. And we'll go out to April. That's too expensive. Too expensive. Okay, so not Zscaler. Let's go for the other Palo Alto Networks, PNW. And that one we've got an average hold time about 7 or 8 bars. 7 or 8 bars. Let's still go out to April. That is also very expensive. We could do a 33. That'd be in our entire buying power. Zscaler. $30. 24 delta. Okay. Well, let's try BITO. A lot more reasonable. Great. So I want to put on, let's put on about $600 worth. What was our buying power? 700? 770? Yeah, $600 worth would be okay. We could go in at $1.75. 3.5. $700. If I took 4, put $700 invested. Let's do 4. We'll buy 4 of these at $1.75 if we can get to that level tomorrow. We'll confirm and send that. Okay, I had planned more purchases, but because we need our cash from these sales to free up before we can do any other trades, we'll just do the long Bitcoin trade right here, Bitcoin ETF trade right here. Okay, I'll save the rest, or I'll reevaluate over the weekend. Once we get all of these closed, or presumably we can get all of them closed. The only one that is somewhat of a question mark is DLR, but hopefully they all get closed, our cash will free up, and on Monday we can flesh out our portfolio. Okay, so that is it for today. Do your visualization. So place that focus on your chart for 68 to 120 seconds. Get a nice black line. We got a nice black line upward curvature today. So we'll just want to keep on focusing and just seeing, let's just start seeing that win streak happen and that black line curving up, doing exponential movement towards our first milestone. at $5,000. Okay, that's it for today, and we'll get updated with each other over the weekend.